Fools and Horses, starring David Jason and Nicholas Lindhurst as brotherly business partners.
Only Fools and Horses wasn't just a sitcom. It was a British institution that had viewers laughing for over 2 decades. But while Del Boy, Rodney, and the gang brought endless joy to millions, the real-life stories of the actors behind these beloved characters often took heartbreaking turns. From shocking early deaths to personal battles fought far from the cameras. Many of the show's stars faced struggles that contrasted sharply with their on-screen personas. The laughter they created masked private pain, health crises, family tragedies, financial troubles, and personal demons that would eventually surface. Some, like David Jason, who played the iconic Del Boy, found lasting fame and fortune. Others, including fan favorites like Trigger's Roger Lloyd Pack and Boise's John Shalas, saw their lives cut short by cruel illnesses. Then there were those like Nicholas Lindhurst, Rodney, whose real-life family tragedy would eclipse any fictional storyline. This is the untold story behind Britain's most beloved comedy, a bittersweet tale of laughter and loss, success and suffering. As we look back at where these actors came from, what they achieved, and how their stories ultimately ended, one question lingers. Was the price of making millions laugh ultimately too high for some? Which cast member's real-life story surprised you most? Were you aware of the tragedies behind the comedy? Share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more revealing looks at your favorite shows and stars. David Jason wasn't just the face of Only Fools and Horses. He became British television royalty. But his journey to becoming Del Boy Trotter was anything but smooth. Born David White in 1940 to a working-class London family, he took his stage name from his brother's middle name, a quiet tribute after his sibling's tragic death in a motorcycle accident. Jason's early career was a struggle. He worked as an electrician before getting his big break in comedy, often typecast as the funny sidekick. When Only Fools creator John Sullivan first offered him the role of Del Boy, Jason hesitated, worried about being stuck playing another Cockney stereotype. Little did he know this would become the defining role of his career. Behind the scenes, Jason battled loneliness during the show's early years. The harder Jason found it to separate himself from the character. Yet unlike many of his co-stars, Jason's story has a happier ending. He found lasting love with Gil Hinchcliffe, 18 years his junior, with whom he had a daughter in 2001 when he was 61. His post-*Fools* career flourished with shows like A Touch of Frost. And today, his £10 million fortune makes him one of Britain's richest actors. At 84, Sir David Jason, knighted in 2005, remains active in the industry. Nicholas Lindhurst became a household name at just 19 when Only Fools and Horses debuted in 1981. As the lovable but hapless Rodney Trotter, he played the perfect straight man to David Jason's Del Boy, a role that would define his career but also haunt him. Lindhurst was no stranger to fame when Only Fools began. A former child actor, the character's iconic moments, from his disastrous wedding to Cassandra to his endless frustration with Del's schemes, cemented him as a national treasure. Yet behind the scenes, Lindhurst struggled with typecasting. Despite acclaimed stage roles, he found it hard to escape Rodney's shadow. His personal life, however, seemed stable. Married to Lucy Smith since 1999, with whom he had his son, Archie. Then tragedy struck. In 2018, 19-year-old Archie was found dead in his university dorm from a brain hemorrhage. The loss devastated Lindhurst, who retreated from public life. In a rare interview, he admitted, "You never recover. You just learn to live with it." Despite his grief, Lindhurst made a quiet return to acting, joining New Tricks and later Ghosts. In 2023, he stunned fans by reuniting with David Jason for Beyond Paradise, proving his talent extended far beyond Rodney. Today, at 63, Lindhurst lives quietly in West Sussex. His £5 million fortune ensures comfort, but no amount of success could shield him from life's cruelest blow. With his crooked grin and hilariously literal mind, Roger Lloyd Pack's Trigger became one of Only Fools and Horses' most unexpectedly beloved characters. His famous "All right, Dave" Catchphrase and inability to grasp basic logic made him a scene stealer. Yet few knew about the quiet battles this brilliant actor faced off-screen. Born in 1944 to a theatrical family, his father was the Avengers star Charles Lloyd Pack. Roger seemed destined for acting, but his road to success wasn't smooth. He spent years in repertory theater before landing Trigger in 1981, a role initially meant to be minor, but which grew thanks to his perfect comic timing. Behind Trigger's cheerful simplicity lay a complex man. Married to actress Sheila Ball in 1967, their relationship weathered his heavy smoking and the pressures of sudden fame. Colleagues described him as intensely private, yet generous with younger actors. His other major role, as Owen in The Vicar of Dibley, proved his range beyond slow-witted road sweepers. Tragedy struck in 2014 when Lloyd Pack died of pancreatic cancer at just 69. His final months were spent refusing to let illness dim his spirit. He continued working almost until the end. At his funeral, David Jason gave a tearful tribute to his friend of 30 years. The irony wasn't lost on fans. The man who played history's most forgetful character left an unforgettable mark. Today, but his true legacy remains those perfect comic moments that still make millions laugh. With his trademark cigar and mocking laugh, John Shalas turned Boycie into one of British comedy's greatest love-to-hate characters. But beneath the character's smug exterior lay an actor whose life was anything but smooth sailing. Born in 1942, Shalas' journey to stardom was unconventional. He worked as a furniture salesman and even a mortuary attendant before breaking into acting. His big break came at 39 when cast as the used car dealing Boycie, a role he'd play for 22 years. Admitting in his memoir he'd been a terrible husband. The birth of his only child at 60 brought late-life joy, but couldn't erase years of regret. Professionally, he struggled being typecast. Despite Shakespearean training, the world only wanted Boycie. Health issues emerged in later years. A 2018 cancer diagnosis became public when fans noticed his gaunt appearance at conventions. Always the trooper, he continued working, even filming a documentary about his beloved Herefordshire home just months before his September 2021 passing at 79. Shalas left behind a £2 million estate and a unique legacy. When Buster Maryfield first appeared as Uncle Albert in 1985, few could believe this convincing old sea dog was actually a retired banker who'd never acted professionally before age 61. His journey from Lloyd's bank clerk to national treasure remains one of British television's most remarkable second acts. Born in 1920, Maryfield spent 40 years in banking before taking early retirement. His natural comic timing and that iconic during the war catchphrase made him an instant hit with viewers. Behind the scenes, Maryfield's sudden fame caused unexpected strains. His wife of 50-plus years struggled with their newfound public profile, while the physical demands of filming took their toll on the aging actor. Yet he remained grateful for his unlikely career, often saying, "I'm the luckiest pensioner in Britain." Tragically, his late-blossoming success was cut short. Diagnosed with a brain tumor in 1999. When Only Fools and Horses began in 1981, Leonard Pierce's Grandad Trotter served as the emotional anchor of the series, the weary voice of reason between Del Boy's schemes and Rodney's naivety. Few realized this brilliant character actor was battling his own private war against time. Born in 1915, Pierce was already a seasoned character actor when cast at age 66. His background in Shakespeare and serious drama made him initially hesitant about sitcom work, but he soon embraced Grandad's warmth and comic frustration. The scene where he forgets Del Boy's birthday became instant classic television. Behind his twinkling eyes and raspy voice hid a man in declining health. Pierce chain-smoked constantly on set, real cigarettes in every scene, hiding worsening heart problems from the cast. His sudden death from a heart attack in December 1984, midway through Series 4, shocked colleagues and viewers alike. The show's team faced an impossible dilemma: recast or rewrite. In loving memory of Leonard Pierce over Grandad's empty chair, Pierce left behind a modest £500,000 estate, but something far more valuable: the foundation stones of Britain's greatest sitcom. For 9 series, Kenneth McDonald's Mike Fisher served as the long-suffering landlord of the Nag's Head, the weary straight man to Del Boy's antics and Trigger's dim-witted comments. His dry delivery of lines like, "You're barred," became part of British pub culture, making his sudden death at just 50 all the more shocking. Born in 1950, McDonald worked steadily in television before landing his defining role in 1983. Unlike many cast members, he never struggled with typecasting. Mike Fisher was exactly the kind of grounded, naturalistic role he excelled at. Off-screen, friends described him as the cast's quiet anchor, always professional and kind. But McDonald's personal life was turbulent. 2 failed marriages left him financially strained, and the physical toll of long filming days combined with his heavy smoking habit. When he suffered a fatal heart attack in August 2001, the show lost not just a character, but one of its most reliable performers. The tragedy hit David Jason particularly hard. McDonald had been one of his closest friends on set. When Gwyn Strong first appeared as Rodney's long-suffering wife Cassandra in 1989, she brought unexpected depth to what could have been a stereotypical sitcom spouse. Over 14 years, she transformed Cassandra from a punchline, "Rodney, you plonker," into one of British comedy's most relatable working women, a journey that mirrored her own off-screen resilience. Born in 1959, Strong was already an established stage actress when cast at 30. Unlike many co-stars, she avoided typecasting by alternating only fools with serious theater work. But this balancing act came at a cost. Her marriage to actor John McArdle collapsed under the strain of dual careers, leaving her to raise their daughter alone. Post-******************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************************** Horses. Suddenly you're too old for lead roles, but too young for grandmother parts, she confessed in a rare interview. Her story offers a different kind of showbiz survival tale, not of tragic downfall, but of graceful adaptation when the laughter fades. As Del Boy's long-term love interest Raquel, Tessa Peake-Jones brought unexpected heart and glamour to Peckham's rough-and-tumble world. Her will-the-won't-they romance with David Jason became a central storyline, but behind the scenes, Peake-Jones battled to avoid becoming just the girlfriend in her own career. Born in 1957, the Cambridge-educated actress had serious Shakespearean credentials before joining Only Fools in 1988. Initially hired for just 3 episodes, her chemistry with Jason extended Raquel's role to 15 years. But this success came with frustrations. Tabloids obsessed over her age gap with Jason, 17 years, while producers resisted developing Raquel beyond romantic plots. Her personal life proved equally complex. A relationship with actor Douglas Hodge produced a son, but ended acrimoniously. Rebuilding her career through theater in Grantchester as Mrs. Maguire. Now 67, Peake-Jones' £1 million net worth reflects careful career management. With his cheeky grin and dodgy market stall deals, Patrick Murray's Mickey Pierce became an instant scene stealer when he joined Only Fools and Horses in 1983. But behind the laughter, Murray faced private battles that nearly destroyed him, proving even the show's most lovable rogue couldn't outrun real-life struggles. Murray was just 26 when cast as Del Boy's unscrupulous mate, a role originally meant to be minor. But his natural comic timing, especially in classic scams like the Pot de Soie leather jacket con, made Mickey a regular. Off-screen, however, Murray's life spiraled. A bitter divorce in the 1990s triggered severe depression, compounded by typecasting that left him struggling for work after the show ended. "I hit rock bottom," he later admitted. "Mickey Pierce was all people wanted, and I didn't know who I was anymore." Alcohol became a crutch until a health scare forced him to reassess. A Quieter Life in Kent. The legacy of Only Fools and Horses is one of extraordinary contrasts, a show that brought unparalleled joy while masking profound personal struggles behind the scenes. As we've seen, these actors gave Britain some of its most enduring comedy moments, often at tremendous personal cost. For every David Jason who found lasting success, there was a Roger Lloyd Pack or Kenneth McDonald taken too soon. Nicholas Lindhurst's unimaginable grief reminds us that fame offers no shield against life's cruelest blows, while Patrick Murray's battles prove even the cheekiest performers face private demons. The late bloomers like Buster Maryfield showed it's never too late to chase dreams, but Leonard Pierce's untimely death warns how quickly those dreams can slip away. The show's magic endures because these weren't just characters. They were real people, flaws and all. Their triumphs and tragedies make the comedy richer, their humanity making the laughter matter more. As we close this chapter, we're left with one undeniable truth. Great comedy isn't just written, it's lived. And these extraordinary actors lived every moment.